material during the March for Australia protest in Adelaide on the weekend. He was filmed holding a picture of accused cop killer Desi Freeman. Following investigations by detectives, a 39-year-old Golden Grove man went to a police station and was arrested and charged. He's been bailed to appear in court in October. Troy Bell's resignation will not lead to a by-election. The Mount Gambier MP is bowing out after being found guilty of stealing more than $400,000 from a not-for-profit. Speaker Leon Bignell has announced his replacement will be determined at the next state election in March due to the cost of a by-election and short amount of time the MP would serve before the election. Legislation will be introduced to state parliament tomorrow to mandate staffing ratios in our public hospitals. It follows consultation with the Nursing and Midwifery Federation and has been modelled on ratios in Victoria. Elizabeth DeBars from the Nursing Federation says it means more staff will be needed.
It won't happen overnight. We know that that's the case, but the reality is that there will need to be additional nurses and midwives embedded in the system to make sure that full compliance is achieved on the agreed ratios.
It's expected the new ratios will start early next year. They won't apply to private hospitals or private aged care providers. The federal government's again faced questions about delays to its aged care reforms. Labor's under pressure to immediately release at least 20,000 in-home care services to help clear a massive backlog. The government says a new and more streamlined care system will be rolled out by November. Aged Care Minister Sam Ray has told Parliament it's complex reform which must be carefully implemented.
Big reforms don't happen overnight, but we're working hand in hand with assessment organisations, including the states and territories, to ensure a smooth transition, to minimise impacts to older Australians and to get them the care that they deserve.
The Albanese government has kept the permanent migration rate at 185,000 for this financial year. The number's been released after Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke came under pressure to reveal the details. He says the size and composition of the program was maintained after consultation with the states and territories. Child protection has been at the forefront of discussions to ban deep-fake apps which create nude images. The technology essentially uses AI to turn normal photos of people into fake sexual images. The concern is that minors are being targeted and some creators are also using undetectable stalking tools. Sarah Napier from the Australian Institute of Criminology says the issue needs to be addressed.
I've seen offenders on the darknet talking about how they are taking non-sexual pictures of real children from their social media profiles and turning them into child sexual abuse material. So even if a child hasn't been a contact victim of child sexual abuse, they are still being victimised.
Turning to FIVEAA sport, and the AFL Premiership Cup Tour has officially kicked off in Adelaide today. The Cup will continue its journey across SA this week, including stops at Adelaide Oval and the Sandful Community Finals, before taking the scenic route to Melbourne for the AFL Grand Final. Collingwood coach Craig McRae has confirmed Beau McCreery will play in Thursday night's qualifying final against the Crows at Adelaide Oval after passing a number of fitness tests at training today, while Port will hold their AFL and Sandful best and fairest tonight at the Convention Centre. Australian surfing star Molly Picklum has clinched her maiden World Surf League title, beating Olympic gold medalist American Caroline Marks at the WSL Finals in Fiji. After Marks took out the first of the best-of-3 finals heats, the 22-year-old Aussie needed to regroup and did so to claim the next 2 heats. Picklum telling the WSL coverage it's a dream come true.
I mean, I didn't make it easy for myself. I was pretty excited and made it hard, but I then just locked in and did what I've done all year, and I cannot believe I'm a world champion! Oh my God! Oh my!
Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Afternoon at Myrtle Bank, a 2-car crash, Fullerton Road near Fisher Street, delays inbound. Felixstowe, Burstwater Main, OG Road near Kent Street. Clearview, Burstwater Main there too, Hampstead Road near Glenburnie Avenue, and a twisted traffic light at Kensington Gardens, Glenburn Road near the Parade. Cameras, Aldershot Road, Lonsdale, and Black Road at O'Halloran Hill to Savo. Home loan today, holiday tomorrow. Apply online for a CommBank Digi Home Loan and earn up to 300,000 Qantas points. Eligibility, men loan size and T's and C's apply. Ends 30 November 25. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, partly cloudy, 19 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 17, partly cloudy on Thursday, 18, and the same for Friday, 19. At the moment, 19. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, the $250,000 stolen Lego haul uncovered at Royal Park. A new plane and more flights, the massive travel boost for Adelaide. The Premiership Cup in town as finals FIVEAA hits SA. The cost of hundreds of medications to be slashed to their lowest price in 20 years. And the unexpected benefits of weight loss. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Phil Hoffman Travel. We are holiday makers, the dream creators, and memory inventors, creating moments that stay with you for a lifetime. We are time givers, allowing the clock to stand still just for a moment. And we are curators of wonder, where exploration is around every corner. Phil Hoffman Travel, for over 30 years, creating moments you'll never forget. Visit pht.com.au.
He's one of the most decorated AFL players in recent history.
Bartel.
Catch Cats Premiership legend Jimmy Bartel talking footy each week with Rowie and Timmy G. Thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
8 minutes after 3 here at the Royal Adelaide Show. We are in the Jubilee Pavilion and now we're on the live stream thanks to Complete Care. If you would like to tune in, you can do so on YouTube and also on Facebook. We've got a big last hour of the show on the way. Very shortly, we're going to talk all things wood shopping. It is one of the great institutions of the Royal Adelaide Show and quintessentially South Australian. So we'll find out all about that with the chair of the wood shopping here at the Adelaide Showgrounds. And we'll also, very shortly, after this short break, we will speak to a Spice Girl. Mel C was kind enough to come on the show. Now, I should say that we had to pre-record this chat a little earlier today because Mel was in London. So when the publicist rang from Channel 7, because Mel is now a voice coach on Seven's The Voice, which I'm sure a lot of you are watching, along with Kate Miller-Heidke and Richard Marks and Mel, obviously, and Ronan Keating is one of the other judges too. It's great to be able to speak to her, but we did have to do it a little bit earlier today. But as we were saying with one of our callers, Deb, a little earlier in the show, for many of us, the Spice Girls are kind of in that Beatles, Rolling Stones, Fleetwood Mac, legendary realm. You don't sell 100 million albums globally without being popular. So we'll speak to Mel C about that very shortly. Couple of text messages before we get to the break and speak all things wood shopping and also Spice Girls. We spoke to Bugner earlier in the show, who sadly has passed away overnight. Joe was 75 years of age, passed away at an aged care home in Brisbane. He has been fighting dementia for the last few years of his life. We spoke to Stuart Mullins, who is an author who wrote the book about Aussie Joe Bugner, and also we caught up with Max Marks, who was Aussie Joe's manager here in Australia. We were discussing the fact that in his career, he fought Muhammad Ali twice. He fought Joe Frazier. Whilst he didn't beat either of those two all-time greats, he did go the distance with both of them. So he had an extraordinary career, Aussie Joe Bugner. One of our text messages said to me from Mike, he said, "Hey, Leith, Rocky Marciano was the greatest boxer of all time. Undefeated." Thank you, Mike. Always reminds me of that skit or scene from Coming to America. I think you'll find the scene in the barber shop with Eddie Murphy where he talks about Rocky Marciano. But I think you could probably throw, for those people who like boxing, a blanket over about 5 to 10 boxers who you could argue at various points were the greatest boxers of all time. I think some might agree that Mike Tyson's in there somewhere. Forget about what he's done off field or out of the ring, but certainly what he was able to do in the ring. He certainly is one of the all-time greats. And speaking of the Spice Girls, Damien said, "Leith, the lady is a vamp." is my favourite Spice Girl tune. Can you ask Mel if she sang the very funny "Thank you very much" at the end of the song? Damo, I would. Apologies. Hopefully I'll get her again. Maybe we can get her for the grand final for The Voice. But if you're a Spice Girl and you're a Voice fan, I promise that you'll enjoy the chat that's coming up with Mel C, a.k.a. Melanie Chisholm, Sporty Spice, in just 1 second. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll talk all things Adelaide Show and Spice Girls. Big last hour to come. Back after this.
Finals footy is here and it doesn't get any bigger than the Crows taking on Collingwood at Adelaide Oval this Thursday night. You can be there too. We've got qualifying final tickets to give away this week. Plus, one lucky winner will be upgraded to the McGarry Room with premium seats, dinner and a pre-game beverage package. Imagine that atmosphere, the roar of the crowd, the Crows and Pies battling it out with finals intensity. Keep it on 5AA for your chance to be there, all thanks to CLK Legal. If you have a personal injury claim, get the compensation you deserve. Visit clklegal.com.au.
It's time for Explorer Caravan's spring stock clearance at 583 Grand Junction Road. Explorer Caravans is clearing all stock. Save big dollars on leading Aussie brands like Franklin, Viscount and Titanium with vans ready to go. Talk to our experts for all the info and tips. Then get a great deal on a new caravan ready to hit the road and chase the sun. Explorer Caravan Spring Stock Clearance, corner Grand Junction and Prospect Roads.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the Home of Fire. Get massive savings on wood, gas and electric heating and check out their outdoor kitchens.
The Home of Fire, for all your flaming needs.
The Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. With 40 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. Feeling bloated and sluggish? My Brain Co Gut Repair is your all-in-one gut solution. The award-winning powders supports digestion and promotes a healthy microbiome naturally. 3 10-gram was $69.95, now $55.95.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Paying for a gym membership means going the first month, sleeping in the next month, voicemails from your personal trainer, taking up cold plunges instead, realising you're more of a good book by the fire type, hot chocolate by the fire type,
marshmallow,
forgot you even signed up for the gym type. Go from forgotten subscriptions to found savings with the Westpac app's clever tech. To get it done, it takes a little Westpac. Westpac online banking T's and C's, eligibility, fees and charges apply.
Can I have another marshmallow? Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. In September 2, T's and C's apply. SAT 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
Here's the story. The 2025 Toyota AFL Finals Series starts now. Watch the action live as the Adelaide Crows take on Collingwood in a qualifying final set to be a thriller. Thursday, September 4, 7:10 p.m. at Adelaide Oval. Jordan Dawson, Tex Walker, Darcy Moore, Nick Dacos. The biggest names on the biggest stage. Get in on it. More info at finals.afl.
Experience the world's most beautiful voyage with Hurtigruten and Phil Hoffman Travel. Discover Norway's stunning coastline and the Northern Lights on a North Cape Line voyage with all-inclusive food and beverages, Wi-Fi and more. Book now to save up to 30% and receive up to $1,600 onboard credit per stateroom, starting from just $3,580 per person. Hurry, offer ends September 14th. Visit pht.com.au.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
16 minutes after 3. Complete Care live stream Facebook and YouTube. We're broadcasting live in the Jubilee Pavilion for the Royal Adelaide Show, theshow.com.au and Drake's, where you get your tickets. We'll hear from a Spice Girl very shortly. I'm not sure Graham Hyde, who is the chair of the wood shopping, would be a Spice Girls fan. You might be. Do you ever listen to the Spice Girls?
I've got 3 daughters, Leith,
yes.
So I have heard the Spice Girls.
Excellent. All right, well, you can hang around for Sporty. She's coming up a little later. Great to see you, first and foremost. Thank you for coming across.
Thank you.
The great Howard Bone is in front of us here.
Indeed.
Mr. Bone, you and I are having this conversation. So, it's a little tinge of sadness for those of us who knew Andrew really well. Was a great contributor on 5AA for so many years, part of Michael Keelan's weekend, and Bone Timber we know. So every time I think of the woodchopper, it's quintessentially Adelaide and quintessentially the show, but it also reminds me of him too in a nice tribute, if you like.
Yes, certainly. Andrew absolutely loved the show, and he followed in his father's footsteps, Howard's, and Lloyd both. His grandfather. So they've been great contributors to the show for many, many years.
Always gives me a nice feeling as I'm driving up South Road and you just see the big Bone Timber sign. Like, it's just, you know. It's such a great... Why is it so great? Like, of all the things of the show, and there are many things to love about the Royal Show, the wood chopping stands apart from a lot of it. What do you think it is?
It does indeed. I think it's the action of it. Looks scary. It is scary. I think that there's that factor, but everyone can appreciate the athleticism. Even though you don't have to have a great aerobic capacity, you need strong aerobics for a very quick time.
Power.
Yes, power. And that doesn't matter whether you're cutting or sawing. We had a boy from the Mount Gambier this year cut through 350 millimetres of timber in 7 seconds on a saw. Unbelievable.
Like a hot knife through butter.
Oh, you couldn't even
isn't it?
start the chainsaw in that time.
That is amazing. Which is a great tradition. Where did the tradition of the wood chop at the show, do you have any idea where it started? Was it used for a purpose and then somebody went, hey, this is a great spectator sport? Yeah,
indeed. Look, wood cutting started in Tasmania at a bar. Two Australians were arguing over who was the best cutter, and they challenged each other and went out and cut a tree down each, and one had to have a hand from someone else hold his board up to hold him there, and he ended up winning. Well, that's transpired into the sport and the legend of wood cutting.
That is so great.
Yes, I know that particularly well because a friend of yours, Matthew Pantelis, has been repeating that all afternoon. So
that's his go-to story. Do you know Pants loves the show so much?
Oh, we love him.
He takes holidays from the radio so he can be here with you. That's how much he adores this.
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic community that we've embraced him into. We love having him along, but everyone we get our claws into, they don't leave quickly. Everyone falls in love with it.
Do you know, as a kid growing up in the southeast, I would watch on television. We didn't get to come to the show. It was such a huge thrill. Like, we thought the Mount Gambier show was big in Millicent. Then all of a sudden you come up here, it's like on steroids. You couldn't believe how many people and noise and all the rest of it. But we always used to see wood chopping sometimes on TV, whether it was Wildwood or Sports or whatever. It always amazed me that they would straddle, there's the great John Hall, they would straddle the wood and then they would just rip it between their legs, and this wood would fly off like confetti.
Yeah, the big chips come flying out, don't they?
What an amazing sport that all of us, any of us who grew up in the country yourself, like, that's all we did as kids. We always would chopping firewood.
Yeah, look, and that's part of the tradition is that Australia was built on timber foundation. You drive from Adelaide to Melbourne and every town hall, every post office, they're all timber. Millicent, timber everywhere.
God's country.
Yes, and that's what's fantastic. And because it's so important to us, timber is there. So we've always had this tradition. And people like Howard made a living out of it, selling it, and which is fabulous.
So we'd have the big splitter at home, and then you get your firewood, and then Mum would make sure that your fire was done before she got home from work. You would always have a footy club or a social club. You would always have a wood shop somewhere. You get what you need for yourself. The rest would go into a trailer and you'd raffle that at the club and make money from it. It is a great sense of community, and that's showcased here at the show.
Yeah, indeed. Look, my mother won the Clare Ladies Woodcut. And,
excellent.
We've got an axe somewhere. I don't know. In fact, I've got the axe head. I lost the handle in a fire, but the axe head somewhere from her with the woodcut. So the Clare show was important to our family as kids, and as you would have with Mount Gambier and Millicent shows. It's fantastic.
I love the show. I love that aspect to it. It's just, and I say this to all of the guests who come across, you know, there is the razzle-dazzle of Sideshow Alley and rides. That all has its place. But it's quintessentially about agriculture, and it's about the people and the stories behind that.
Yeah, indeed. Look, earlier last week I had to call in and give blood, and the nurse taking it said, "Oh, what are you doing next week?" And I said, "Oh, I'm going to the show." And she said, "Oh, I love the show. I love the woodcutting." And I said, "Guess what? I'll be there." And she said, "Oh, every year we go with our egg sandwiches and we sit and watch a few events, and that's part of people's tradition."
Well, it is. It's like a theatre. We don't. It's really the only theatre you have at the show where it's kind of like. I mean, there is. To an extent, you've got the big stage and people sit on the grass and watch that. But it is like an amphitheatre. It's like an old school performance.
Yeah, look, there's 2 events at the show. There's wood chopping and the rest.
Yep.
But certainly the wood chopping is really brings the crowds in, holds the crowds. Everyone loves seeing how sharp those axes are. You could shave with them, and they do. And it's just great fun to watch these people. So skillful. We've got a 13-year-old boy who's cutting through logs at the moment.
Yep.
He's in our round robin, and we sponsor young axemen from around Australia. They all come, and we've got 2 New Zealanders in that round robin. And we've got an 82-year-old cutting in the veterans.
82?
Certainly.
Good on him.
Yeah, so we have a veterans competition, Australia against New Zealand.
Yep.
And they have to be over 60 years of age.
Yep.
And those teams, both Australian and New Zealand teams, are of people over 60 years of age, up to the oldest being 82.
Well, do you know what's funny? So you watch all of these fitness shows, and you see people who are paying hundreds of dollars to go to the gym. And what are they doing? They're all hitting big tractor tyres. Go and chop some wood. It's like the greatest physical feat you could do. You're basically doing the same motion, and you actually get something out of it. What people may or may not know is that there is a real art form to it. How many times have I tried to split wood at home where I haven't got the grain right?
Yeah,
you're just there for hours.
Yeah, look, I used to have great joy when my son came through and some Year 12 boarders came up to our home, and they were all swinging the axe. I just got a little bit of pine and I split it, and I said, "Now, boys, it's your turn." And I put a little bit of knotty red bark there, and they were bouncing off it for ages. And I said, "When you get stronger, you'll be able to do it."
There is nothing more deflating to the ego, is there not, than absolutely hammering, and you just get that little tiny, now what? All right, let me shift it that way and try again, shift, and then away you go.
Yeah.
What do people enjoy here at the show? So we're going to come for the rest of the week and the weekend. What do we need to know from your wood chopping perspective?
Yeah, look, there's a test on every day. We have just completed 3 tests of Australia versus New Zealand women's relay.
Yep.
Today we've had the veterans relay, Australia versus New Zealand, and we do that for 2 more days. And then we have Australia versus New Zealand under 21s, and so all age groups can get a go. We've also got championship events, hard-hitting events, soaring events.
Yes.
And of
even
course,
soaring's hard. Like again, if you get the angle wrong,
yes,
you like a fisherman, you're snagged. It's hard to get out.
Yes, and if you've got 2 soarers and one's a little bit not aligned, it slows it down.
It's like a roller. Yep.
Yeah, indeed. So we've got that, and then we've got the excitement of the tree and going up and down the tree. Up one side, cut it out, then come down, do it all again up the other side.
I had Brad here, who is in the motocross. He's one of these crazy guys that, they're flying in the air and doing all of that. He lives the life of carnivals. He's basically travelling the whole year, pretty much going to... What do the wood choppers do when they're not at the show? Are they normal sort of regular jobs and then just supermen and women on the weekends?
Yeah, pretty much. There's really no professional woodcutters in Australia.
Okay.
Few are trying, but they would follow the show circuit to do so. But most of them, this is a hobby and or their sport, and they have the opportunity. They all love coming to Adelaide, and we put on. We've got 1,985 entries this year.
Really?
Indeed.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of people.
Fantastic. So that's not competitors. That's entries in the events.
Yep.
And
so as the chair, is that your job? So you've been doing it 4 or 5 years now as the chair?
Yes. I've followed some very good chairmen in the past.
Yes.
And
so the role of the chair does what? Do you have to source these? Are you the collector of all?
Look, a good chairman's a good delegator. But my job is very much to make sure we've got timber.
Yep.
And
Is this where these legends come in?
Yeah, well, this year we've been able to source it from Queensland.
Yep.
And we brought down nearly 2,000 logs and about 28 trees to cut for this whole 9 days.
For the real wood nuffies in the audience, what type of wood are we talking here? What's the kind of wood that you get down? Does any wood matter, or you got to have a specific wood?
Does any wood matter?
Mr. Bone, does any wood matter? Does it all have to be a particular type of timber? Yes? He said it's got to be sourced.
Yes. So what we do is we've got hoop pine, which is an Australian timber from Queensland. And I don't know the botanical name. Howard Bone will rattle it off instantly. But that's because he's good at it. But each of the 8 competitors will have their log out of the same tree.
Right.
The position of where that wood is a raffle, which we draw. So to make it fair, because some of the wood is not as good. Up the top's easier than down the bottom. And outside trees, outside the forest, we saw a tree there the other day that the grain twisted, so it must have had the wind pushing against it as it grew up, and that was really hard cutting for them. In fact, a New Zealand won it, and he looked at his log, went back to his wood axe box and pulled out a much narrower axe. So he thought, no, I'm not. I need power to get through that.
It's like golf. It's like picking the right club.
Yeah.
And then away you go.
Yeah. Look, we've had
amazing
some South Australian boys that have done particularly well this year. And one of the great axeman families here in South Australia is the Fullgrab family. And Mike went out and bought all new axes for them all and sharpened them to suit this pine. And we've had a couple of firsts and a couple of seconds already so far. So
excellent.
The right axe helps.
The South Aussies doing us proud, which we love. Congratulations to you and your team. Everything that you do. One of the great features, I don't know if there's another kind of ambassador like it. Dave Foster used to come in with Andrew all of the time to work. We had a little intern with us at the time, Tanya, who was she'd be lucky to be 5 foot. She was a beautiful young lady. Dave Foster gave her a cuddle and she disappeared where we lost her. He was like this. He was just the biggest man I've ever seen. There are some huge boys out there.
Indeed.
Not always athletic, you know. There's not a lot of sixer. You don't need it. It's just power and strength.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of girls that are pretty strong too and powerful cutting through. So
absolutely,
yes.
well worth checking out. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming across. Continued success with everything you do.
No worries. Thank you.
And
thanks for your support.
Pumping up the southeast too, which I always love. Graham Hyde, wood chopping chair here at the Adelaide. He's getting a round of applause. He's for the wood group he's with him. And we should say royalty too, aren't they, the Bone family? Amazing. Mr. Bone, lovely to see you. We'll take a short break. It is 3:30. Headlines on the way. On the other side, I'm not sure Mr. Bone would like, the Spice Girls. Mel C is going to join us next.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A 39-year-old man wanted for holding up a Desi Freeman placard at a march in Adelaide has come forward to police and been arrested. Nurse-to-patient ratios will be introduced in our public hospitals next year. US researchers have found the longer toddlers spend on screens, the less time they spend learning to talk. And Australia has a new world champion, with surfer Molly Picklum winning the World Surf League title for this year. Partly cloudy and 19, at the moment 19. More news at 4 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's been a long wait for Crows fans, but AFL finals are finally here. After a huge build-up, this match is set to be a classic as the Crows play host to the Magpies. Thursday night on 5AA, Adelaide Oval becomes centre stage for this epic encounter.
That was a huge goal in the context of this game.
AFL live on 5AA, always Adelaide.
If your air conditioner is over 15 years old, it has no inverter. which means it cuts in and out, costing money. REQ Air Conditioning can install a more effective cost-saving system using brands like Mitsubishi Electric. They will also show you how to use it for maximum efficiency. Stay cool, stay warm, save money with REQ Air Conditioning and Energy Solutions. Google REQ Air Conditioning for a free in-home quote.
Tyre Power's footy final sale gives you the power to buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres. Tackle road safety this September thanks to Toyo tyres and Tyre Power. Visit tyrepower.com.au.
Chemotherapy, radiotherapy, immunotherapy. Cancer treatment looks different for everyone. At Lift Cancer Care, our team of dietitians, physios, psychologists and exercise physiologists collaborate closely with your medical team to help you navigate your diagnosis. And we're dedicated to building your physical and mental strength to give you the best possible outcomes. So if you or a loved one are ever struck with the C word, think of the L word first. liftcancercare.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles' famous annual winter spend and save must end today. Spend $4,000 will only charge you $2,750. Spend $2,000 will only charge you $1,450. Or spend $1,000 will only charge you $750. But it absolutely must end today. So rush into a National Tile store near you or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
A new elevated shopping experience awaits at Burnside Village. With a 2-story Mecca flagship store, Coco Republic, JB Hi-Fi, Uniqlo, Style Runner, Kavari, July and much more. Burnside Village. Fashion, dining, lifestyle. BurnsideVillage.com.au.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Need money at the click of your fingertips? Make banking easier with People's Choice, awarded Mozo Customer-Owned Bank of the Year. 24-hour service via phone or app when you need it. Digital wallet and no monthly administration fees on our everyday living account. Add People's Choice to your wallet today. Apply online at peopleschoice.com.au. T's and C's, fees, charges and eligibility criteria apply. Consider if this product is appropriate for you. People's Choice Credit Union is referred to as People's Choice.
Always local. 5AA. Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
So in life, you've got to have dreams and you've got to have aspirations. I've always wanted to see a Beatle. And last year I ticked that box when Sir Paul came to town. I've always wanted to speak to a Spice Girl. Always wanted to speak to a Spice Girl. And that has never happened until today, because Melanie C, from the best-selling girl group of all time, 100 million albums, is a coach on Channel 7's The Voice, and she joins me, Melanie C. Thank you for coming on the show and for fulfilling my dream.
Well, it's my absolute pleasure.
It's a thrill to have you on. I was in my early 20s and, I'm peak Spice Girls demo, and I'd always hoped this day would happen, Mel, and here we are. Do you still feel the love globally 31 years on?
Oh, my goodness. Do you know what? I think we feel it more. It could be because it's enduring and there's new generations that are discovering the Spice Girls. So it's a beautiful place to be.
I've got one quick fanboy question for you before we talk about The Voice. I had Brian Adams on the show last year. We talked about this too. I said the same to him. I think Baby When You're Gone with you and Brian Adams is on the podium of one of the greatest duets ever. Male-female duets.
Oh my
Penny and Dolly,
gosh.
you and Brian. I'm telling you, Mel, it's amazing.
Wow. Well, that's a massive compliment. Well, I've just spent 2 nights performing with Brian, actually, here in the UK. I was supporting him on his tour. So we got up and we sang and we were singing When You're Gone, of course, but we also did a little version of Say You'll Be There together, which was really good fun. So yeah, I'm full of love for Brian right now. I just love spending time with him, and being on stage with him is just a dream.
It's one of the all-time greats. It's a cracker. How are you enjoying The Voice? Are you enjoying the coaching? You're being on our screens every week. You're loving it?
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? There's parts of it I find really hard. I find it hard not turning because you know how hard people have worked to get there. And, I feel like it's really hard to be constructive if you do have criticism. I'm a bit of an empath. I'm a performer, obviously, as we all are, but it's like it's hard to like you've been in those shoes. Um, but I love spending time with the artists and sharing experiences with them, seeing how it really helps them. And the other coaches are brilliant. We've had so much fun together. And that's always the nerve-wracking bit, right? The dynamic between the coaches. No one knows how it's going to go, but everyone's really fun, really knows how to, they're not afraid to make fun of themselves and each
Yes.
other. So we've had a good laugh.
You always have that paternal gene, like it's wanting to help others get to where they want to get to. That's got to be a great thrill for a coach.
Oh, it's amazing. I think it's a tough industry, as so many are. And I think if you can help nurture other artists and for them to potentially avoid some of the pitfalls that you've fallen down, that's a wonderful thing. And you see how, they're soaking everything up. Even, we've got lots of young artists, but we've got more mature artists that have never really achieved the things they've wanted to. And everybody is just so open and willing and wanting to learn. It's brilliant.
Have you always been the competitive type? Like you feel that in this show. You can see that the chemistry with you and Ronan in particular. It's like as a kid growing up, I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose to her.
Yeah. Don't lose to anyone. Obviously being sporty, I am competitive. I've always been competitive, but I think with Ronan, it's a very special. It's almost like sibling rivalry, because we've known each other for so long, and there's no way that he's going to beat me. I'm not having it.
I always put myself, and I want most people watching the show would do this too. I put myself in the position of the singer. How would I choose my coach? Who would I choose? It's pretty hard to go past a Spice Girl, Melanie. I'm going to be honest. I mean, that's got to be great leverage for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel that, but we all have self-doubt, don't we? And sitting next to Richard Marx is pretty tough because he's worked with some of the greatest singers in the world. He has a Grammy, as he likes to keep telling us. And, Ronan has so much experience as well. He's worked with so many incredible people. And Kate is pure music. I just, because I didn't know Kate before the show. And, we've become really good friends now. And she was here in London and I went to one of her shows and she is so musical and so knowledgeable that I was just in awe of a lot of the way she speaks to artists and how intricate a lot of her like critiques are of things. So if I was up there, I would find it hard to choose. And I think people, they have an idea when they get there, so that's why we have to pitch hard because they already have an idea of where they want to go. So, the gloves have to come off.
Yeah, I think the show's been great for Kate too. I think everyone's always known she's got this amazing, beautiful voice. Like she's this angelic Australian singer. But I don't think a lot of people knew Kate the person very well because she just wasn't that out there. Whereas now I think that's been I think that's one of the great parts of the show. Take the talent portion of it aside, is the chemistry between you all, like yourself and Kate. And you get to see the humour and all the rest with it.
Yeah, and it's been really lovely, discovering an artist like Kate because it's not. She does have a fan base here in the UK, but it's nice, and hopefully more people will get to know her work because she is incredible. She's incredible live. She's so funny as well, and she's brilliant. She's a brilliant musician, not only singer, but she plays piano, and she's amazing.
You have 10 great artists on your team, and any of those could win. I want to focus on one, though, if we can, and that's South Australia's own Lily. So you know what we're like in Australia? We all get parochial about our own state. She sang a spicy song in her auditions.
She did.
What does she need to do to win it?
Oh, I think Lily is a really interesting artist because she's very unique. She has something which... she's quite quirky, she's got a really lovely little personality and she has her voice she's so accomplished in what she can do with her voice, but she's also got these I love the way that when she breathes in, you always get like her breath. And with some artists, you would stop them. You'd say, "Oh, be careful, don't breathe on the mic." But with her, it's almost like, when you think of an artist like Björk, and they just have their own little way of doing something. I feel that with Lily, and I feel like her personality. I think we're going to see some really fun performances, and there's a real star quality to her. So I'm excited to see what Lily can achieve through the show.
It's a little bit like the Olympics. We all become experts all of a sudden. We're watching diving and we think we know about diving. She sounded a little nervous to me at the start. She sounded a little all over the shop. But then when she hit one or two notes, that's when I feel like that's when you turned. And that's when Ronan turned.
Yeah.
Like, you could see the power she probably had, as you would have nerves. You're on national television.
Oh, my goodness. And do you know what? The hardest thing for any singer is the first two lines. You've got to come in, you've got to come in strong, and then it takes you a little bit of time to just, to get comfortable. So I if someone comes in strong, I'm impressed immediately. If someone doesn't come in strong, I'm like, that's okay. Settle in and let's see what you got. So I think there always has to be room. You have to give a little bit, because it's tough being up there.
Yeah. The great Melanie C is my guest, one of the coaches of The Voice. The second stage, The Battles, comes up starting Sunday, 7 and 7+. So sometimes you feel a bit, it's like, oh, do we really need them to battle? Don't be, but that's the industry, isn't it? It's like, it's dog eat dog, get out there, compete, do your best. Yeah, but part of you wants to just nurture them through. And then you think, no, throw them in there, throw them to the wolves, and away you go.
Yeah, I'm dreading it. It was hard enough not turning for people or maybe losing people to other coaches. But I think once you have your team and you get to know them, and then you've got to say goodbye to some of them, So the next stage is brutal.
Do you like the caring and sharing gene, but also like there's got to be fun blocking people and saving people, like to have that trigger, Melanie, when you can.
The power. Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but actually it comes in handy.
Well, good luck. We are biased. I mean, we would love a South Australian winner, first and foremost. So whether it's Lily on your team, or if Lily doesn't win, or one of your players, Tiffany on Ronan's, again, we'd love to see a South Australian winner.
Strong. Yeah.
Have you got a thought?
Good luck all around.
Is there someone to beat? Is there someone who's impressed you right across and you think, oh, this is the,
My goodness. I think it's interesting because there are people who immediately you go, wow. People who feel like they're already fully formed. But once you get into a room with artists and they're singing around a piano, in the mentoring, the vulnerability begins to show. So other people you go, oh, okay. So I think the thing to always bear in mind with the audition songs, I think people have kind of honed that performance and that song. And really now we're at the point, it's like, right, you're in the deep end now. It could be a brand new song to you. So we really see what people are made of.
Well, congratulations first and foremost on everything you're doing on the show. We love seeing you on our TV screens and everything you've achieved in life. I was thinking about when Channel 7 said I could speak to you, I was so excited, A, because of you and a Spice Girl, but B, in Australia, you're an adjective. Like people say it. If you see someone around in their gym gear, you're like, oh, Sporty Spice. That's you. You become part of our vocab, Melanie. 30 years on.
And hopefully for another 30 years.
That's right. It is a compliment. Lovely to have you on. Congratulations again.
Thank
Great
you
to see you
so much. See you soon. Take care.
Melanie C, one of the... What a thrill. Melanie C, my guest.
Catch the FIVEAA Fishing Show, presented by Ned McHenry, Tuesday nights from 6:30. See the full Yamaha Marine range at Christie's Beach Marine, South Coast Marine, Yamaha Pitmans, and Coast Road Motors.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Have you been injured in a car accident? you might be entitled to compensation, and Anderson's solicitors can help you find out. Compensation can cover things like medical costs, pain and suffering, lost income, even help around the home and garden. Don't rush to accept an insurer's settlement without first getting the right advice, or you could be missing out. And with Anderson's, your first interview is free, so you've got nothing to lose. Anderson's Solicitors. Help when you need it.
Are you aged between 18 and 65 and generally healthy? You have the power to make a difference for thousands of Australians experiencing multiple sclerosis. CMAX Clinical Research is seeking healthy volunteers to join a clinical trial for a potential multiple sclerosis treatment. Eligible participants will spend 3 nights at CMAX in Adelaide CBD, attend 2 follow-up visits and get paid for their time. Ready to make a worthwhile impact? Apply today at cmax.com.au.
It's on now. Wayville Hyundai's demo clearance. Every demo has been priced to clear. That means a huge in-stock range, big savings, and ready to drive away. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au.
A new battery rebate is here, and it's a game changer. The Cheaper Home Batteries program with NRG Solar makes smart storage more affordable than ever. Eligible homes and small businesses can save thousands, and households could slash power bills by up to 90% with a solar and battery combo. NRG Solar will guide you through and lock in the rebate before the masses catch on. Head to nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160. Don't wait. The smart move is to act now.
Today's reverse ducted air conditioning systems offer so much more than just an on-off switch, which is why REQ Air Conditioning will spend as much time as you need to get familiar with all the functions and controls of your new system. It means you'll get the most out of it from the very start. No guesswork required. Stay cool, stay warm, save money and master the remote with REQ Air Conditioning and Energy Solutions. Google REQ Air Conditioning for a free in-home quote.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
5AA Afternoons with Leith Forrest.
Broadcasting live from the Royal Adelaide Show here in the Jubilee Pavilion, as they say. We are here all week, so you can come along and say hello if you're here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Graham Goodings is also here between 9 and midday each and every day. So if you're coming to the show before the weekend, we would love to see you here. We are on the eastern side of the Jubilee and just near the Channel 9 setup, so you can't miss us. Behind us is the Goiter Pavilion, and it's got everything you need from the quilts and the sewing to the food. And then there is just Tasting Central. There is so much to see and do here. If you'd like to join us, it's time to do Turkey Tuesday before we wrap up, thanks to our great mates at Turkey Flat Vineyard. We have 6 bottles of wine to give away, 3 bottles of the GSM, 3 bottles of the Shiraz. We would love to have your input. If you're watching us on the Complete Care live stream, Facebook and YouTube, don't be shy. You can join in too. 8223 0000. We would love you to take part because there it is. Thank you, Blake. I was talking to a young lady earlier here at the show. Her name is Paris Hedger. She is a content creator, if you like, here in Adelaide. A lovely young lady who I've known the family for a long time. She was showing me some of the videos during one of the ad breaks here at the Royal Show of the rides that she was going on. And there's one in particular here at the Royal Adelaide Show called the Joker that she said you absolutely have to check out. And it's interesting because it reminded me of talking to another friend the other day about the Royal Show and how I said, oh, there you're going and what are you looking forward to? And they said this. What they didn't mention was rides. They actually come to the Adelaide Show and don't ride a single ride. So my question for you today, part of Turkey Tuesday, is do you need to ride a ride when you come to the Adelaide Show? Are you a turkey if you do not go on the rides here at the Adelaide Show? There is a ride for everyone, I'm sure. Or are you someone who comes to the show, enjoys the show, but does not take on the adrenaline part of it? 8223 0000. 6 bottles of Turkey Flat Vineyards wine to give away, 3 GSM, 3 Shiraz. I think you're a little bit of a turkey. I don't mean that rudely, but I think if you're here at the show, it's part of the all-encompassing joy of the Adelaide Show is to do all the pavilions and check out everything that's going on. It's to enjoy the show food. But I think you've got to test yourself a little bit. There might be a ride for you that you tried as a kid, perhaps. Maybe it's given you bad memories and that's why you don't do. But I would think most people, am I wrong? 8223 0000. Do most people still do rides when they come to the Royal Show? There's rides for everyone. There is an Alibaba ride, which is like a big pendulum. There's the alien abduction, which is pretty much the Gravitron, as we might remember from the 80s and into the 90s. There's the big bubble bunts. There's the break dance. There's crazy cups like you see at Disneyland. There's cliffhanger cars for kids. I mean, Dodgem Cars effectively is a ride. Do you not enjoy going on that? The Ferris wheel, if you're something a little more timid. The Dragon Wagon. You've got the Fantasy Flyer, the Freak Out, Jumbo Jump. I just can't imagine coming to the Royal Show and not going on a ride. Or maybe your show days are done. I'll be interested to know. 8223 0000. And even if you want to tap into your memory bank of nostalgia, of the great Adelaide show rides that perhaps are no more. For me, it's the Mad Mouse. There is no real Mad Mouse here, but I think the Mad Mouse put a lot of people off. There was the ride called the Paratrooper, which was always great. The Sizzler was always great. You might remember those. Have you got a ride memory that maybe you remember? Maybe you get on in age and you think, you know what, I don't need rides anymore. But part of the fun of the show, is it not? To go in there and scare yourself silly for a couple of minutes? 8223 0000 would love to know. Turkey Tuesday. Ride or no ride? Let's go to Two Wells. Ian, what do you think?
Yes, you're a turkey if you don't have a ride.
Yes.
Years ago, I was involved with the PAL Super Dogs on the main arena.
Yes.
And at the end of it, we had our dinner and had a couple of drinks, and then about 10 of us went around and we got led on to nearly every ride by the show people in our uniforms.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's great. If you don't do it, you're a turkey.
Well done, Ian. You're in the running, that is for sure. So if you come to the show now, would you still do a ride? Do you think you get to an age, perhaps, Ian, where you think, maybe my riding days are done? Or there's always room for adrenaline in your life, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. No, I'd still go on one. I'm 66, but I'd still go on a ride.
So you're a man of my own heart, Ian. Thank you for that. You're in the running. Andrew says, Leith went on the Mad Mouse in the late 70s. As a kid, I decided that's enough rides for me. I wonder how many people, Andrew, like you, were scared off. I'm not sure if we went through now OC Health and Safety, whether the Mad Mouse would pass. I'll be honest. It was a little rickety from time to time, but hey, that was half of the fun, I think. Thank you, Andrew, for the text. William's in the city. Thoughts, William, on the rides?
Well, unfortunately, your previous text just stole my thunder. But my memory of the Mad Mouse?
The Mad Mouse, yep. Like the little
Mouse?
roller coaster. Yep.
Yes, and that used to sit above the old haunted house. Was it? That's what I believe underneath.
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah, the first time, and this memory sticks in my mind for the rest of my life, Lee. Dad, first time he took me on there, he said to me, basically, when we get to the first corner, you've got to pull the little metal rail to the right so we can turn right. Mm-hmm. And otherwise we're going to go over the edge. And he didn't tell me that till the wheels are in motion. So, you know, as a 5 or 6 year old kid, I have that memory of the Mad Mouse forever and a day, and I would most likely put that on my grave. Thanks, Dad. You've engraved the Mad Mouse or you've etched it into my mind for the rest of eternity.
Love it. Seared into your memory. Excellent call, William. Thank you for that. Just if anyone's eating, tune out for 1 second because this is a gross story, but go with me on this. I remember at the Millicent show growing up as a kid, someone threw up on the Gravitron when we were all on the Gravitron because you remember you were pinned backwards and it would spin around really fast, and I kid you not, without a word of a lie, the vomit flew around the Gravitron too. That's always haunted me to this day, and I've not been on any type of Gravitron ride since. Roger from Windvale. Okay, you can tune back in now if you've finished eating. G'day, Rog.
Yeah, that might have been me. I just can't take anything that spins. When I first married my wife, we went to Sydney, went to Luna Park.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going, we've got to go on the rides because my wife's a daredevil. Go on the rides. Go on. I said, I'm going to be sick. If I go on anything that spins, I'm going to be sick. No, you'll be fine. Yeah. First ride I go on is the Gravitron. No worries at all. I'm doing that. I got off and I'm like, yeah, that's good, but I'm spinning and I don't feel too good. Then we went in this other one that had like cages and they just spun around and round and round and round.
Yes, I remember.
I got off of that.
Yep.
Got off of that, walked over to the bloke that was serving the tickets for it, and he had a bucket on the side, and I just vomited straight in his bucket.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's not good.
And anything that spins, dude,
yeah.
That's bad.
I'm with you. Actually, you know the worst ride of all the rides? Remember McDonald's used to have that little hamburger in the playground, and it was just close and tight. That was, mind you had a stomach full of McDonald's, but man, that was not great. Roger, I'm with you. No spinning rides for me. Rick from Elizabeth, our last one before the sports show. What do you think, Rick? Turkey or not? Riding in the show.
No, mate. You got to go on. Are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How you going?
Good, thank you.
If you don't go on the rides, I reckon. Talking about that Mad Mouth, I took my 2 young blokes on there with me one night, and have you been on it?
I went on it as a kid many moons ago. It's not here anymore. It might have been done. The safety officers might have had a look, Rick, but I think that's the one that feared most people.
Well, where you come down to the last, just before the last turn, before the ride stops, you've got these 2 little humps. And I had my 2 kids with me, and on the last hump, on the first hump, sorry, as it went down, my little bloke stayed up, and I caught him by the legs. And
good catch. Rick?
It was a good catch. It scared me. It didn't scare me about the ride, but it scared me about losing my little one.
Thank you, Rick. I think there's a number of parents who caught their kids at Monash too, back in the day, in the Riverland, because they would fly off some of. Excellent calls. All of you deserving. I'm going to give it to Roger. Roger, you get the 6 bottles of wine, 3 GSM, 3 Shiraz, thanks to our great mates at Turkey Flat Vineyard. If you're coming to the show, jump on a ride, folks, and come and see us here at the Jubilee Pavilion. Tomorrow on the show, Cozzy's going to join us from South Aussie with Cozzy, bringing a very special friend. If you're here at 1 o'clock tomorrow, you'll get to meet Humphrey B. Bear, who has returned. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Spice Girl one day, Humphrey B. Bear the next. Stay tuned. Sports show, late change, S-Row out, illness in. S. Camperelli, legend, 95 premiership star, joining Tim Ginniver after the break.
Coming up next, Adelaide.